The Lost Treasure of Captain Blackbeard. In the quaint seaside town of Harborview, stories of pirate adventures and hidden treasures were told to every child. Among these tales, one stood out above all: the story of Captain Blackbeard and his lost treasure. For generations, villagers spoke of how Blackbeard had buried his greatest treasure somewhere along the rugged coastline before vanishing without a trace. Young Sam Thompson, an adventurous boy of 12, had grown up hearing these stories from his grandfather. His grandfather had been a sailor and had always spoken of the sea with a glint in his eye. Before he passed away, he gave Sam an old weathered map, saying it had been passed down through their family for years. "This map," his grandfather said with a raspy voice, "is believed to lead to Blackbeard's treasure. But remember, Sam, the real treasure lies not in gold, but in the adventure itself." With summer vacation starting, Sam decided it was time to follow the map. He showed it to his best friends, Lily and Ben. Both were thrilled at the prospect of an adventure. Armed with the map, a compass, and a few supplies, they set off early one morning, heading toward the cliffs that bordered the town. The path was steep and rocky, but the trio was undeterred. They followed the map's markings, which led them through dense forests and along narrow, winding paths. As they walked, they talked excitedly about what they might find. Would it be chests of gold coins? Glittering jewels? They could hardly wait to find out. After several hours of hiking, they reached a clearing. According to the map, they were close. Sam looked around and spotted a large, ancient oak tree with twisted branches. Just as the map indicated, there was an old, weathered stone at its base, marked with a strange symbol. "This is it!" Sam exclaimed, his eyes sparkling with excitement. The children began to dig around the stone. The earth was hard and unyielding, but they took turns with the small shovel they had brought, determined to uncover whatever lay beneath. After what felt like an eternity, Ben's shovel hit something solid. "It's a chest!" he cried out. With renewed energy, they cleared the dirt away, revealing an old wooden chest bound with rusted iron. The lock was old and fragile, and with a few strikes from a rock, it broke open. Holding their breath, they lifted the lid. Inside, they found not gold or jewels, but a collection of old, waterlogged papers, a leather-bound journal, and a few odd trinkets. Disappointment flickered across their faces, but Sam's curiosity got the better of him. He carefully opened the journal, its pages brittle with age. As he read aloud, they discovered that the journal belonged to Captain Blackbeard himself. It detailed his adventures, his battles at sea, and finally, his decision to hide his most precious treasure where no one could find it, because it wasn't a treasure of gold, but a treasure of knowledge and wisdom. Among the papers were maps of uncharted territories, letters of correspondence with other famous explorers, and drawings of strange, undiscovered creatures and plants. There were also detailed instructions on navigation, shipbuilding, and survival at sea. Lily, who loved to draw, was fascinated by the sketches. Ben, who dreamed of becoming a sailor, was thrilled by the navigation techniques. Sam, inspired by his grandfather's tales, was deeply moved by the thoughtfulness and intellect of the legendary pirate. "This is amazing," Sam said, a sense of awe in his voice. "This treasure is worth more than gold. It's a piece of history, and it can teach us so much." They spent the rest of the afternoon poring over the contents of the chest, each finding something that sparked their imagination and curiosity. As the sun began to set, they carefully packed everything back into the chest and decided to take it to the town's historical society. They knew it was a find too important to keep to themselves. Back in Harborview, the townspeople were astonished by the children's discovery. The Historical Society agreed to preserve and display the journal and papers, ensuring that the knowledge and stories of Captain Blackbeard would be shared with generations to come. Sam, Lily, and Ben were hailed as heroes. They had not only found a piece of their town's legendary history, but had also brought a new sense of wonder and adventure to their community. The real treasure, as Sam's grandfather had said, was indeed the adventure itself and the knowledge they had gained along the way. The experience deepened their friendship and ignited a lifelong passion for exploration and learning. Sam felt a deep connection to his grandfather, knowing that he had honored his legacy by seeking out adventure and understanding the true value of knowledge. And so, the story of Captain Blackbeard's lost treasure took on a new life in Harborview, inspiring young and old alike to seek their own adventures and cherish the wisdom they found along the way. Part 2. The Legacy of Blackbeard. Months passed since Sam, Lily, and Ben discovered Captain Blackbeard's treasure, yet the impact of their adventure lingered in the air of Harborview. The town was abuzz with excitement, and the children had become local heroes. But for Sam, Lily, and Ben, the adventure was just the beginning of a journey that would change their lives forever. Sam spent hours poring over the contents of the journal, fascinated by the stories of Blackbeard's adventures and the knowledge he had acquired over the years. He found himself drawn to the sea, longing to explore the uncharted territories that had been documented in the pages of the journal. Lily, inspired by the sketches and drawings found in the treasure chest, immersed herself in the world of art. She spent her days sketching the creatures and landscapes depicted in the journal, adding her own imaginative twists and interpretations. Her drawings captured the imagination of the townsfolk, who marveled at her talent and creativity. As for Ben, the discovery of Blackbeard's treasure only fueled his desire to become a sailor. He spent every spare moment down at the harbor, helping the local fishermen and learning the ways of the sea. He dreamed of one day embarking on his own voyages, following in the footsteps of the legendary pirate whose treasure had changed their lives. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, the three friends gathered at their secret spot overlooking the harbor. They sat in silence for a moment, each lost in their own thoughts. "You know," Sam said, breaking the silence, "I've been thinking a lot about Blackbeard lately." Lily and Ben turned to him, their curiosity piqued. "He was more than just a pirate," Sam continued. "He was an explorer, a scholar, a man of great knowledge and wisdom. I can't help but wonder what other secrets are hidden out there, waiting to be discovered." Lily nodded in agreement. "There's so much we still don't know about the world," she said, "and I want to see it all." Ben smiled, his eyes sparkling with excitement. "Then what are we waiting for?" he exclaimed. "Let's embark on our own adventure, just like Blackbeard did all those years ago." The idea hung in the air, electrifying and exhilarating. They had grown up hearing stories of adventure and discovery, but now they had the chance to experience it for themselves. The following morning, they met at the docks, their bags packed with supplies and their hearts full of anticipation. With a sense of determination and excitement, they boarded a small fishing boat and set sail into the vast unknown. Their journey took them to distant lands and exotic locales, each more wondrous than the last. They explored dense jungles, climbed towering mountains, and sailed across vast oceans. Along the way, they encountered a myriad of creatures and cultures, each with their own unique stories and traditions. As they traveled, they documented their adventures in a journal of their own, filling its pages with sketches, maps, and tales of their experiences. They learned from each other, grew together, and forged bonds that would last a lifetime. But amidst the excitement and wonder of their travels, they never forgot the lessons they had learned from Captain Blackbeard's treasure. They remembered that true treasure was not found in gold or jewels, but in the knowledge and wisdom gained from the journey itself. Years passed, and the three friends returned to Harborview, their hearts full of memories and their minds brimming with stories. They shared their adventures with the townsfolk, inspiring a new generation of explorers and adventurers. And though their lives took them in different directions, Sam, Lily, and Ben remained bound by the bond they had forged on their journey. They knew that no matter where life took them, they would always carry with them the spirit of adventure and the legacy of Captain Blackbeard's treasure. As they watched the sun set over the horizon, casting its golden glow over the harbor, they knew that their journey was far from over. For as long as there were uncharted territories to explore and mysteries to unravel, they would continue to seek out adventure, guided by the lessons they had learned from the legendary pirate whose treasure had changed their lives forever.